In a world full of noise where people scroll but never grow, there's a place where words don't just sound, they transform. Welcome to AB Audios, where every story sharpens your mind, builds your discipline, and rewires your thinking. This is not just listening. This is evolution. Wake up at 5 a.m. for 7 days. This happened. It started with a simple decision. No audience. No pressure. No one watching. Just me, and a promise I wasn't even sure I could keep. Wake up at 5 a.m. for 7 days. That was it. 7 days doesn't sound like much. Until you're the one staring at your alarm clock in the dark, knowing exactly what's coming. Because this wasn't about waking up early. This was about facing something far more difficult. Myself. Day 1, the resistance. The room was silent. Pitch dark. The kind of silence that feels heavy, almost suffocating. Then suddenly, treat. The alarm. 5 a.m. It didn't feel like a sound. It felt like an attack. My eyes barely opened. My body felt like it weighed twice as much. And instantly, the thoughts began. Just 5 more minutes. You barely slept. Start tomorrow. It was convincing. Dangerously convincing. Because it didn't feel like weakness. It felt like logic. I sat there, staring at nothing. Half awake, half gone. And then, something strange happened. A quiet voice. Not loud, not forceful. Just calm. If you go back to sleep, nothing changes. That hit harder than the alarm. Because deep down, I knew it was true. So I moved. Slow, heavy, reluctant. But I moved. And that moment, that tiny decision, was the first win. Day 1 wasn't productive. It wasn't inspiring. It wasn't magical. It was uncomfortable. Messy. Doubt-filled. But it was real. And sometimes, that's enough. Day 2, the internal war. Day 2 didn't greet me kindly. It was worse. Because now, my brain knew what I was trying to do. And it didn't like it. The alarm rang again. 5 a.m. But this time, I didn't just feel tired. I felt resistance. Strong, aggressive, persistent. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? Sleep is more important. And here's the scary part. It made sense. Every excuse felt valid. Every reason sounded smart. That's how your mind works. It doesn't scream. It negotiates. And if you're not careful, it wins. I lay there, frozen. Caught between 2 choices. Comfort. Or growth. Sleep. Or discipline. And for a moment, I almost lost. But then I remembered something. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So I got up. Not because I felt strong, but because I refused to stay weak. Day 2 wasn't about motivation. It was about war. And I had just survived it. Day 3, the first shift. Something felt different. Not dramatically. Not life-changing. But noticeable. When the alarm rang, I still didn't like it. But I didn't hate it either. That was new. I sat up quicker. No long internal debate. No heavy resistance. Just movement. And for the first time, I noticed the world around me. It was quiet. Not the kind of quiet you get at night, but a different kind. A peaceful quiet. The kind that gives you space to think. No notifications. No noise. No chaos. Just you. And that's when it hit me. Most people never experience this. Because they're asleep. Not just physically. Mentally. Emotionally. Drifting through routines without awareness. But here I was. Awake. Present. And slowly, I began to feel something unfamiliar. Control. Day 4, the momentum. By day 4, things started to change. Not just in the morning, but throughout the day. I was sharper, more focused, more intentional. Tasks felt easier. Decisions felt clearer. It wasn't magic. It was momentum. Because every morning, I was proving something to myself. I can do hard things. And that belief started leaking into everything. Work. Thinking. Energy. Even the way I walked felt different. Straighter. More certain. Because confidence doesn't come from success. It comes from discipline. And discipline was slowly becoming my identity. Day 5, the identity shift. This is where things got dangerous. In the best way. Because now, it wasn't just something I was doing. It was becoming who I was. The alarm rang. 5 a.m. And I got up. No argument. No hesitation. Just action. And in that moment, I realized something powerful. I wasn't forcing myself anymore. I was choosing it. That's the difference. Because when something becomes a choice, it becomes sustainable. And when it becomes part of your identity, it becomes unstoppable. I wasn't the same person who struggled on day 1. That version of me was fading. Day 6, the mental clarity. By day 6, my mind felt different. Quieter. Cleaner. Less noise. Less overthinking. Less emotional chaos. And that's when I understood something most people never realize. Your mind is loud because it's undisciplined. We blame stress. We blame life. We blame circumstances. But rarely do we blame lack of control? Because control is uncomfortable. It requires effort, consistency, sacrifice. But once you build it, everything changes. I wasn't reacting anymore. I was deciding. And that shift is everything. Day 7, the transformation. Day 7 arrived quietly. No excitement. No pressure. Just another morning. But something was different. I woke up. Before the alarm. No sound. No force. Just awareness. My eyes opened. And I was already ready. No resistance. No negotiation. No excuses. Just action. And as I sat there, in that quiet moment, it finally hit me. This was never about waking up at 5 a.m. It was about proving something deeper. That I could take control. That I could act even when I didn't feel like it. That I could become someone stronger. Through small, consistent decisions. And in that moment, I realized something most people never do. Change doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in small ones. Repeated daily. Final realization. Most people are waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the right time. Waiting to feel ready. But here's the truth. You will never feel ready. Because growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from resistance. From showing up when it's hard. From acting when you don't feel like it. That's where transformation lives. Not in ideas. Not in plans. But in action. Powerful ending. If you can wake up when your body says no. If you can move when your mind resists. If you can stay consistent when it's uncomfortable. You can control your life. Because the battle is not out there. It's in here. Every morning. Every decision. Every moment. And once you win that battle, everything changes. This is AB Audios, where you don't just listen, you evolve.